Hello and welcome back to my channel. I put my mic on my little Sting sword. I noticed in my other videos that when it's just like on my shirt, it doesn't seem to like make that big of a difference. I am also hoping that having it closer to my mouth will block out the outside sounds, but every time I say that, you guys can hear it perfectly well, probably. Anyway, this week I thought it would be fun if we did another craft with me video. I have a lot of seashells that I have had for years and years now, from a family trip that we took to Mexico, and we found so many seashells on the beach. I don't think I have ever seen that many seashells in my life. Anyway, so I have a lot of seashells that I want to do something with. And I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with these seashells until I was scrolling on Pinterest the other day and I found some inspo pics. So now I know what to do with them. Anyway, so the first craft that I want to do is inspired by, I don't know if I saw on TikTok or if it was a TikTok that I saw on Pinterest. Either way, I will insert the inspiration. But I want to make a little notebook inside of like a clam kind of thing. Anyway, I have two big seashells that I think will work perfectly for that craft. Then I want to make some seashell jewelry. I have made seashell jewelry before for the Aphrodite Venus jewelry drop that I did a couple months back, and then before that. But I've seen some new inspo pics on Pinterest. I'm feeling inspired. Springtime is almost here. It's getting warmer. I want to wear some seashells, you know? Anyway, and then the third is maybe the one I'm most excited for and nervous for. I've seen these, it could either be like a paint palette or like a jewelry catch-all type thing, where you make it with clay as the base and then you stick the shells and whatever else you want to use to decorate it in the clay, and then you have like a little paint palette or jewelry catch-all, like I just said. Anyway, those are the three crafts that I would like to make in this video, and I want you guys to come hang out with me while I do it. So let's go.
The first thing I wanted to do for this craft was to dye the paper that I was going to put inside of the notebook with some tea. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just giving it a little tea wash on each piece of paper that I cut out. Now that the paper is nice and dyed, I just took the little sewing needle and stabbed it through the paper. And then I fished some twine through the holes of the shells and then through the paper to make it a notebook, you know? And there you have a cutie little shell notebook. These are the shells that I am picking through to make some necklaces. I decided to start with this beautiful shell first. I am obsessed with it. I have some freshwater pearls. I don't think they're real. They look pretty real. And I am just setting them up however I think would look good, just playing around until I find a setup that I think would look good for this necklace. I decided that I wanted to keep this necklace pretty simple, at least for me, because the shell is the statement piece. I just wanted to add some extra pearl details. And that is it. I am just going to add these pretty silver chains to the end, and that completes this necklace. For the next necklace, I am going to use this beautiful shell. I have a bunch of different beads and shells that kind of fit the color theme of this shell. So I'm just going to take each bead and kind of play around again with a setup that I think would look cute for this necklace. This is how it's looking so far. I used these gold rings mixed with the bronze. I kind of thought that it would give a very warm, autumnal vibe to a very summery piece, if that makes sense. I was playing around with the idea of adding some extra gold loops, kind of like a chandelier necklace, but I wasn't super loving it. I tried it a couple of times, I think you'll see later on in the clips, but ultimately I decided that it wasn't really the vibe that I wanted to go for this piece, so I just continued building it. Here it is in its finished form. Like I said earlier, I tried again with the little chandelier kind of vibe with a different gold chain. I thought it would add a little something to it, and I do think it's cute. It kind of just felt really busy, if that makes sense. Next, I wanted to play with this beautiful shell. I had my dad drill a hole on the bottom of the shell because I wanted to play around with dangling something from a shell. I had another freshwater pearl, so this is what I decided on. I think it looks stunning. I am so obsessed with it. I wanted to keep this necklace like, I guess, ethereal vibes, pearl, golds. I just think it fits this shell perfectly. This is the pattern that I decided looked best for this necklace. And here it is all finished. All I have to do is attach this shell to the necklace. The last necklace that I'm going to make is with this beautiful shell. I love the pinky white colors, so I really wanted to lean into that with this necklace. I wanted to use pearls. I have a bunch of pinky toned beads, so I'm going to use these ones as well as these ones. Some more seashells, of course. And then I had some pinky toned pearls that I wanted to use for this necklace as well. This is the pattern for the beads that I decided to go in for the necklace. And this is how it turned out. All I have to do is attach the shell to the base of the necklace and it is finished. I am obsessed with how this one turned out. I think it's adorable. This is the craft that I was definitely the most nervous for, but it turned out to be the most simple. But before we get to that, I decided that I wanted to add some pressed flowers that I had forgotten about to that little shell notebook that I made earlier. This is very simple. All you do is take some Mod Podge, which I will show you. There it is. You just take Mod Podge on a paintbrush, put the flower wherever you want it, and then just coat that sucker in Mod Podge. It's very self-explanatory. All right, on to the paint palette. All you're going to do is take your clay. I'm just using air dry clay, and you just mold it into whatever kind of shape you would like. The more organic, the better. So I just played around with the clay until I found a shape that I was happy with. Once you're happy with the palette shape, you are just going to add your seashells wherever you would like them to go. So this is just me playing around and figuring out where I want them set. After I have the shells set where I would like them, I just took some pearls and little seashells and put them wherever I thought would look cute, just to add a little extra decoration to the palette to make it a little whimsical.
And that brings us to the end of my craft with me video. Before I go, I kind of just wanted to talk about everything that I've made because I'm really proud of all of them. Starting off with the little shell book. Oh my god, I am so happy with how it turned out. I am obsessed with the little pressed flowers that I added on top. I can't remember, I'll see it when I'm editing, but I think my phone died when I added these. This was like a little last minute edition, and I'm so glad that I did it. I think this turned out so cute. With the paper also, not that it's that big of a deal, but I want to share it with you. I interspersed some of the tea stained paper with just like the white paper. It's not that big of a difference, but I just thought it like added a little something to it. Anyway, I'm very obsessed with my little shell book, and I am so excited for it to be warmer outside so I can go be extra and have a little picnic and paint in this little seashell book. Anyway, next I want to talk about the jewelry pieces that I made, starting with this one since I am wearing it. I am obsessed with this necklace. All of the other jewelry pieces I will be selling. I don't know when I'm going to I don't know when I'm going to post all of the new pieces that I have made on my Depop, but those pieces will be for sale. This piece, I'm gonna keep. I love this necklace. I think it is so like ethereal and beautiful, and it just makes me feel cute. So I'm keeping this one, but let's talk about the other three. Starting off with one that I like it, it's just not my favorite of the bunch, I guess I should say. And this is gonna be hard to show you now that this mic is not clipped to my shirt. But it's just this simple little shell piece. I wanted to mix like the bronze and the gold, and I do like that. I just am wondering if the gold rings that I picked, like, is like weird. You know what I mean? It looks really pretty on, but just like it by itself, something about it feels off to me. But I do love all of the colors together. It's like a very like warm sunset, kind of autumnal. I don't know what it is about these colors that give like autumn to me. And I do like this necklace. It's just the one that I'm most unsure about. I'm not like super stoked on it, if I'm being completely honest. So I might go through and maybe switch out these gold rings for smaller gold rings, or yeah, I don't know, something just feels kind of off about it. I do like it though. Next up is this beautiful necklace that I am just so stoked it even worked out in the first place. My dad helped me drill all of the holes into these shells, and by helped me, I watched him drill all the holes in the shells. And I didn't think that these ones, give me 1 second. Sorry, I was almost a litter bug, and we cannot have that. Where was I? I didn't think that these ones were gonna work out because they're like a really funky shape. But I really like this one. It kind of maybe doesn't look like anything special. Maybe that's just me because I made it. But I really love all of the colors with it. It's like such a pinky. Oh, it's so cute. I really, really, really love this one. I have another one kind of similar to this one that's bigger that I'm really excited. I have so many more ideas. with the leftover shells that I didn't use in this video for like jewelry. So if you guys want me to make another video making jewelry, let me know. I do understand that it maybe is not the most fun thing to watch. But anyway, I have a lot of ideas, and for this piece specifically, I have a pretty cool idea. Anyway, moving on to the last necklace that I made. This one is probably, besides this one, my favorite. I love the little detail of this, like, wait. I added this gold around it to kind of give it more structure. It kind of makes it hang a little funky now, but that's okay. That'll take like 2 seconds to fix. I love, love, love this necklace. It gives ethereal, it gives goddess, it gives summertime baddie for sure. It is longer than necklaces I usually make, but something about that is like, with the little dangle, feels like, you know? Anyway, those are all of the necklaces that I made, and I am so, I am really, really excited about them. The last little shell craft that I made is my little paint palette. I will be completely honest with you. I'm going to break the immersion of this video. This is not quite dry. In the reveal video, it was dry and full of paint. But right now, as I'm filming this part, it's not quite dry, but it is stunning. Oh my God. I keep calling it a paint palette. I have decided that I do want to, I have a little I have a little watercolor set that I'm going to steal from to put into these seashells, so that I can take this, my little seashell book, and this was not part of the plan, but I kind of couldn't help myself. I just have a lot of little seashells and pearl beads and stuff, and since I made a little seashell paint palette, I decided to put some pearls and shells on this paintbrush. Nothing too crazy. I didn't want to go all the way up the paintbrush, mostly because I'm lazy. But I just thought it was a cute little detail. Maybe I'll add some at the top. But anyway, I just thought it would be cute to have my little seashell paintbrush with my seashell paint palette, painting in my seashell notebook. You know what I mean? I don't want to lift the paint palette up because, like I said, it's not dry yet. But so cute. So cute. I am so excited. I am very pleased with how all of my seashell crafts turned out. Honestly, they all turned out better than I was hoping they would. So I am very excited about that. I will be using and wearing everything that I made. So that's a win, you know? Anyway, now that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I crafted. I really like making these videos. Crafting is my favorite thing to do in the whole world. I do understand if it's maybe not the most fun thing to watch, but just let me know if you like these videos. If you're not super into them, you know, I'd love to know. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will catch you next week.